Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to more review. Well, not reviews. Videos, I should say. I'm gonna be doing a another theory this time. Now I'm gonna start probably doing these more often. I just haven't had a lot of ideas. I do have this one. I mentioned I was gonna do something with Universal. Um, on my 20th Century Fox video with Disney and all that, when they thoughts on they could sell it or something. And I figured it gave me an idea. Maybe I can do a theory on Universal, aka Comcast. So I'm gonna be talking about what could have happened if Universal bought 20th Century Fox instead of Disney. But before I get any further, remember to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified for future videos. And thank you for the people who are supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm going through a rough time. I'm having trouble controlling my mind and stuff. My mind tends to wander because I have bipolar and stuff. So yeah, keeping the stress away really helps me out, especially with times where prices are increasing. Gotta deal with court. That's kind of personal, but I figured I could mention that because yeah, I'm doing some with court problems and stuff. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. That's kind of not my business, but I'm kind of involved in it a little bit, and I figured I could just say that, and then I've also been having my leg problems too, so I've been having a lot of problems. Also, my amiibos have been stolen by Keegan, so my little brother. So clearly, I've been going through a lot of stress. So yeah. So you guys supporting my channel is really helping me out. I may not have a ton of subs, but for the people who are supporting me, thank you very much. And now we're going to get into the video of Universal. Now remember, this is a theory. This doesn't mean this would have happened. This is a theory. The reason why I'm thinking about this is because Universal was on a bidding war with Disney on this. I think there was a third person, there's a third company that was bidding on it too, but then Universal and Disney were bidding on it for a long period of time afterwards. I think this bidding went on for a couple years because it started in 2017 and I think it continued. I actually didn't know it started in 2017. I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching Family Guy and Adult Swim at this hotel is kind of shitty. I'm actually was calling it out. I'm like, I have a feeling it's not gonna be long before Disney buys Fox, and they did. They bought it, and I didn't even know there was a bidding war going on because I had no phone at that time, so I had no idea. But yeah, 2017 was not the best year. This year is better, but it's not. It's still not great. I wouldn't say it's bad. Trust me, I've had some pretty shitty years in my life, so this one's not too bad. But there are a lot of frustrating things going on right now. So yeah, we're gonna be going to Arkansas though, so at least I'll be able to look forward to that. That's good to know. But overall, I think we can talk about Comcast or Universal Comcast, whatever you want to call them. What would have happened if they bought it? Because like I said, I knew Disney was gonna buy it. Ever since they bought Star Wars, I was like they're gonna buy something else. They're gonna buy one of the six studios. Well, there's actually five other than them, but they were gonna buy one of the other five that were competing with them, and they bought Fox. So I'll go into detail about that when I do while I'm doing the theory here. So Disney won and all that, but what would have happened if Universal won? That's the mysterious thing. What happens if Universal would have won? So let's say Universal actually won the bidding war and actually won. So what would have happened? Well, let's talk about that. remember, this is a theory. That doesn't mean this will actually happen. Now some of this stuff could be more possible than others, but this is more on a theory, so it doesn't mean this could actually happen, but some of the stuff I'm gonna mention is proven it would have happened. So just be aware of that. So we gotta look at Universal buying Fox. We gotta remember when Disney bought Fox, they only got 60% of it. They were unable to buy all of Fox. Actually, I think the people who own Fox only sold them up a certain amount of Fox because they were getting out of the movie business or something like that. I'm not sure. So but Disney, I've heard, has had a really hard time buying Fox. They had a really hard time buying it. And the reason why they had a hard time buying Fox is because they already owned so much stuff already. And I think Universal would have ran into the same problem. Now, where Disney owns Blue Sky, I don't know if Universal would have been able to buy Blue Sky off of Fox. I don't think they would have been able to get it. They would have had to sell it off. Because they already own DreamWorks. They bought DreamWorks in 2017, so unless they would have kicked maybe... Well, actually, I think they bought DreamWorks early on, I think. I can't remember when they bought DreamWorks, but they bought DreamWorks Animation in 2017. Plus, they have Illumination as well, so... although I don't think they actually own Illumination, Illumination is partnered up with them. Now, they could own it, I don't know. I mean, I thought that Blue Sky was not 100% owned by Fox when Disney bought it, but apparently it was, because Pixar, when Disney bought Pixar, before they bought it, I should say, they did not own all of Pixar, so they ended up purchasing it and bought the rights to it. So that could be a theory. So maybe if Universal bought Fox, then they probably wouldn't have owned Blue Sky because, well, they would have owned it, but they would have to sell it off because they already own two other massive CGI, studios. You could argue, well, Disney owns Lucasfilm and Marvel and all that, but those are not the same thing. Those are more live action stuff. See, here's the thing. Here's how it works. When someone buys something, or they have a certain law that you have to follow, laws and stuff. You have to have more competition. So because Universal owns Illumination and DreamWorks, both of those are CGI studios that are like Pixar, and that goes for Blue Sky. Blue Sky is just like all those. And if they bought that, they probably wouldn't have been able. They'd have to sell it off to someone. Now, that the theory is who could have they sold it off to? Now that I don't really have any idea who they could have sold it off to. They could have sold it maybe to Disney, maybe, but I don't know. Because they were bidding on Fox with Disney, they probably wouldn't have sold it to Disney because they would be like, you know what, Disney's our biggest competitor, so why don't we sell it to someone who's not as, the biggest competitor against us? So they probably would have sold it to maybe Paramount or HBO Max or Sony. They could have sold it to Sony, So I bet Blue Sky probably would have became a bidding product too. Maybe, I don't know, because there could have been many people that would want Blue Sky Studios. But I think Blue Sky Studios probably would have been saved, because even if Disney ended up bidding on it and won Blue Sky, they actually won it. I don't think they would have shut it down because they wouldn't have overspent on Fox. So they would have more money during the pandemic to keep Blue Sky open. Maybe, I don't know. Here's the thing. I know a lot of it had to do something with COVID, but a lot of it also was Blue Sky was not very was a good studio, but it was not as good as Pixar or DreamWorks. So yeah, people tend to go back and forth with DreamWorks and Pixar. I think so far I think DreamWorks is better than Pixar, but that's my opinion. I haven't actually. I actually need to watch all the films and all of them to judge that. So I can't really say 100%, but for the films I've seen from both Pixar and DreamWorks, DreamWorks definitely is way better. But can't really judge it until I've seen all of them. So yes. But if you guys, if I sound funny too, I'm on my ball bouncing, and I finally got another ball, so that's good. I'm hoping this one will last longer. I don't know. Probably gonna do some research on it or something. I don't know. But yeah, if I sound funny, sorry about that. But anywho, yeah, enough about the ball. Let's talk about some other things that could have happened if Universal bought it. So there's a possibility that Universal would have been able to keep Blue Sky because they own Illumination and DreamWorks already. So they may end up selling it off to someone else, and someone else might have bidded on it or something. I don't know. That's the part I don't know about. That's like where I'm like less sure of what they would have done. So it's kind of like, those videos where they explain, stuff. They have like the icebergs and explain them and all that. The deeper they go, in the iceberg, the less they know, and that's kind of how this is going. Because they do that on videos on YouTube all the time. I think they actually have one on like Disney and stuff, I think. I'm not sure. But that's basically kind of more of the bottom of the iceberg. That's something that we really don't know exactly what would happen with Blue Sky. Whether if it got bidded on or not. Now, with Blue Sky being sold from Universal, that's definitely more of a possibility. And we can kind of confirm that they probably would have done that because they already owned two other CGI, animation studios, so they probably would have sold it. They would have been forced to sell it because of monopoly problems. I mean, look at Disney. Disney had a really hard time buying Fox as it is, and Universal is still bigger than Disney, even with their Fox purchase. So that tells you how big Universal is. So Universal, Universal would have, it would have been even bigger. But that's the thing, though. Since Disney bought it, they kind of got bigger too. But that's the thing, though. That just makes me wonder that Disney's really not that big. If they didn't have Fox, they really wouldn't be that big because if Universal is still bigger than Disney, it tells you how small they are because they bought Fox and they ended up becoming, they're still not even big enough to be bigger than Universal. Universal is still bigger. But yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know like how that really worked. Or honestly about that. I don't even know if they got all Fox's movies. I'm not sure. I know they got all Fox's shitty movies, so I don't know. So Universal would have ended up getting Fox's shitty movies. Now here's the thing: if Universal bought 20th Century Fox, there's a possibility there may have been less films getting canceled. See, Disney is very woke. They're a very woke company. And Universal has their moments too, where they can be kind of a crappy company. But they're not nearly as woke as Disney. Disney's freaking probably the wokest of the 6 massive studios. They're very woke. And they focus on politics and stuff non-stop. So a lot of these films got canceled and stuff and all of that and when Disney bought Fox. Either because they were too expensive or films like Nimona got canceled probably because of the gay scene or something. I'm not sure because they had Lightyear that came out, but that's actually after Bob Iger left, so I'm not sure how that worked. But there was some reason why there had to have been a reason why they freaking canceled it when they shut Blue Sky down. I'm not sure, but there was not just that film. There was a lot of films that got canceled. Apparently, there was a film called Mouse Guards or something like that that got canceled. I think it was Mouse Guards, I think. But it got canceled. I think there was a McDonald's movie that got canceled, a Sims movie that got canceled. There were a lot of films that got canceled. I'm sure if you guys go back and look at the movies that are coming out for 2019 and 2018, I'm sure you can find a lot of films, because I was looking at them. I saw a lot of films were coming out for 20th Century Fox. When Disney bought them, a lot of them got canceled. So I don't know. So I don't know if Universal would have canceled them too or not, because Universal is well, Universal probably would have made a lot of the films stay. Because I think, see, Universal kind of, I think like they feel like they know what they're doing, kind of, sort of. Disney just tends to buy properties up and just buy them up just to have them. I mean, Disney buys all these properties up, and they basically have no plans for them. They just buy them up. They don't think about it before they buy. They just buy it. So, but like Star Wars, they have no idea how to run Star Wars. I know some people out there like Disney Star Wars. My family likes it. I don't care for it too much, but they like it. But most people hate it, and it feels like Disney does not know what they're doing with Star Wars. And then Marvel's the same way. Marvel has kind of gone downhill. It's starting to fall like Disney Star Wars is. And then there's another thing, like Fox. Fox, like I said, Fox is the big one they bought. They had no idea what they were doing when they bought that. They just bought it just to own a crap ton of movies. And I think they know they fucked up when they bought it. They know they fucked up because they're like, they just don't want to admit it. And that's the problem. Sometimes when you screw up, you need to admit it. Even though it sucks, sometimes you gotta admit it in order to fix the problem. And they really fucked up by screwing that up by buying that. So they've had a history of, and I forgot they bought Doug and Club Penguin. So they bought a lot of shit in the past, and they had no idea what the hell they were doing, and they ended up just fucking everything up. That's probably why a lot of films got canceled and stuff too. So if Universal bought it, Universal would probably not spend as much money on it, because I think Universal would have, well, actually, I mean, let's pretend that they did spend a lot of money. They probably would have still, even if they spent $72 billion on it, they probably would have still kept a lot of the films there and all that. There probably would have been some reboots and sequels and stuff, but I don't think the films probably would have been as bad. So we probably would have still seen Ice Age, but I don't think Ice Age would have been as bad underneath Universal, because Disney's known for being very cheap and woke. Like I said, they're the woke park. I already mentioned that, but they also have a thing of being very cheap. That's why the Adventures of Buck Wild, had really shitty animation, because it was very cheap. And I think the movie probably would have still been bad, but I don't think it would have been as bad under Universal, if you guys get what I'm saying. Universal, I think, is in a way better than Disney. Even their parks are better than Disney. Heck, they've been rewarded for being very good to their employees. So clearly, Universal is definitely the better company. So if they owned Fox, that probably would have mean they probably would have been better with Fox too. But like I said, because they already own so much stuff and they're bigger than Fox, they would have been forced to sell some of their products off that was with Fox, like I mentioned, Blue Sky. They probably would have had to sell Blue Sky off. They would have sold it off to someone else. And all of that. So yeah, all that would have been sold off. Now they probably could have shut it down, because basically Disney, this pisses me off, but when Disney shut Blue Sky down, when they shut it down, they immediately had another studio to replace them. So basically, Disney gave Blue Sky the middle finger is what they did when they shut it down. They were like, we don't really need you. We can get another studio to replace you. That's the studios that are making Rio 3, Ice Age, and all that now. So they're all being made by the same studio that replaced. I don't remember what it's called because I don't give a shit about it, but I know it replaced Blue Sky. So you fans out there that want Blue Sky to return, it's not gonna return. I don't think it's gone forever. Unless someone else, takes over the Fox, and Disney sells it because they're losing a shit ton of money. I mean, Lightyear, I hear, is bombing the box office. They could sell it and get money back for it, but I don't know. Right now, they're kind of in that. They're kind of not doing very good, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else. I said I don't know much about Fox. I know they have, FX and stuff. I think Fox News would have still been, with Fox. I think because Disney was not. Now that one, I think they were not allowed to buy it because they already owned a news station. So Disney was unable to buy Fox News because they already own and they already own ABC, news. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, it's pretty interesting what could happen if if Universal bought Fox instead of Disney. Now here comes the problem with Disney though. However, if Disney did not buy Fox, they probably would have kept their eye out for another massive studio to buy and ruin it instead. Because I've mentioned they had a record of buying properties up and having no idea what they're doing with them. And by that I mean they buy them up and basically destroy them. They put their own taste on the properties they buy. So yeah. So they could have bought Paramount. I heard they were gonna buy Warner Brothers, but thank God they didn't. That would have fucking sucked if they bought Warner Brothers, because that would have fucking sucked. Now I don't know how much they would have been able to buy a Warner Brothers. I don't know. It probably would have been like I could make a video about that down the road. I don't know. I don't want to think about Disney buying Warner Brothers. Overall, I think I prefer Paramount over Warner Brothers. I think Paramount's got a better intro, or it did. It got the better 90s intro and stuff and all that. And I think it's got a better library of shows. I don't know. I'm actually going to be ranking the shows down the road, so yeah. But I don't know what to say about that. I really don't know. I just say they could give them something else to buy and ruin, because Fox, they ended up buying Fox and they blew all their money on that, so they have nothing else to buy really, and they got too much shit. Now there's rumors talking about them maybe buying Netflix, but I highly doubt they're able to buy Netflix, because Netflix is another, they have hardly any money left. I think Netflix would be worth a lot of money. Plus, to be honest, I don't think they're allowed to buy Netflix, because they already own Hulu and Disney Plus, so they wouldn't have been able to buy Netflix. So I don't know. But I think that would also give Universal more control over Hulu too. So Universal would have another streaming platform though. So instead of Disney owning most of Hulu, it'd be Universal. And that probably would have been better for Hulu, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it would have been better for Hulu, I'm not sure, because there was the COVID-19 that happened. So I don't know, that could have screwed some things up too, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would have happened, if they ended up buying it when it comes to COVID. COVID could have screwed them up, or it could have not did much on them at all. I don't know, because Universal's got a shit ton of money. They do. I don't know. I mean, I think there might be. I mean, they're the oldest studio in America. They're the oldest one. So clearly they've been around for a long time. I don't know. Heck, even Walt Disney started off his business in Universal before he became, he became his own company. So So that's pretty interesting that Walt Disney originally, before he made his own company, the Walt Disney Company, he actually used to work at Universal. So yeah. So yeah, Universal's been around forever. Fox actually came out a little bit afterwards, but Fox, they changed the name from 20th Century Pictures to Fox, and then Studios down the road. So yeah. Now it's funny because Fox, out of the 6 studios, Fox is the one that kept the same intro pretty much throughout their entire lifetime. So pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know why the other ones changed theirs throughout history, but I think some of them are pretty good. I like the 90s Paramount logo. I like it. I think it's the best. We wouldn't have gotten that if Paramount kept the same one and all that, and Disney had, the CGI castle intro and stuff, so that's pretty good. The new one, I don't really like the new one. I think they overuse it way too much and stuff, and they're all their films now and stuff. Even the ones they bought, they're starting to use it in them, so I think it definitely sucks now, but hey, I don't know. I think I brought up that intro quite a bit. Need to say that for the Pixar movies that I'm going to be reviewing next after this week, so I don't know. And I don't know what else to really say about this. I think I kind of covered everything I need to cover about these thoughts and theories. These are all the things that could possibly have happened if Universal got it. And I guarantee Disney would have bought another company and completely fucked it over. And like I said, it's kind of... well, actually, I don't think I said this yet. But it does suck that Disney, bought Fox and ruined it. But I'd rather have them ruined Fox than another company, because Fox was already going to shit anyway. I mean, a lot of their films were just stupid sequels to other films, like the Home Alone movies and Alien movies and all that, and Ice Age was going downhill and all that, and overall, they didn't really have a whole lot of great films in their library. It's what I've seen. Well, I've seen and heard, so I haven't seen I don't think I've seen hardly any of the Home Alone movies, so, but I heard a lot of them are shit, only the first one's really good, so, yeah, they've had a bad case of sequels in the past too, but with Disney under Fox, it's even worse now, so, they're not only making, Fox, like, making shitty sequels to Fox, like Fox was doing, and keeping Family Guy and The Simpsons going forever, but now they've also got, they're turning the company woke too. By woke, I mean they've removed black people from, white people from black people roles when they're voicing the characters. So black people are no longer allowed to be voiced by white people from cartoons. So that's bullshit, and I'm sure if Universal probably owned it, probably wouldn't have been that problem. But even if Universal owned it, I would have been done with Family Guy anyway. Family Guy has gotten downhill. It fucking sucks now. It probably wouldn't have been as bad because we would have, Disney, forcing these shows to mention they own them all the time. I don't know what happened there. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Just kind of messed up there. Sorry about that. Oh, it kicked me out. It's like I'm running out of space. I'm gonna have to delete some stuff. Probably gonna end up getting another memory card, so yeah. I don't know what happened. Hopefully it doesn't stop. If it does, I'll have to redo this, which I hope I do not, because this is a long video. But I don't know. I think, just having, The Simpsons and Disney, together and all that just sucks, because it's literally like, I've seen it. It's just freaking constant jokes about, I mean, there's for the advertisement for fucking Disney Plus, they literally make Homer call Disney the overlords, which is so creepy. It is absolutely creepy that they make him do that. And they force Bart to fucking wear mouse ears. Yeah, they're basically flipping everyone off. They're like fuck you guys. We don't care. We own these properties now. We'll shit on these properties and make them worse than they already are because somehow they are able to do that. But I don't know. I heard some people think Family Guy is better, but personally, in my opinion, Family Guy is not very good, and I don't care for The Simpsons at all. Period. Even the older seasons. So, I mean, maybe I should watch the show a bit more, but I don't know. I'll have to give maybe the show another chance. I might review it down the road. I might, but I'm not really going through all 33 seasons. I'm not doing that. I can't stand listening to Marge's new voice. I think her voice is worse than Cosmo's now. No offense to the voice actor who voices Marge, but she needs to retire. But the reason why I know that is because I've seen clips. I've seen clips of it. Sometimes I'm just bored and just watching just to see what they've done to The Simpsons because under Disney and all that. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I don't know. Anywho, tell me what you guys think about Universal. You guys think Universal would have been better under Fox, or you think Fox would have been better under Universal, or do you think Disney should have ended up buying it? Personally, I think I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say this, but I think Disney buying Universal, I mean Fox is a better idea. I know it kind of sucks, but I'd rather them ruin Fox, where Fox is already kind of ruined. I don't think Fox was absolutely terrible, but their films were not very good. To having Fox, having Disney buy like Paramount or Sony Pictures or Warner Brothers or something like that. But I don't know. I think I'm missing another movie studio. I think let me see. There's Warner Brothers, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony. No, that's all of them. That's all of them. Okay. But like I said, I'd rather Disney buy Fox than and ruin something that's kind of already ruined, than ruin something that's still good. Oops. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let this go before I click any other videos. So, tell me again what you guys think about this. And remember, this is just a theory. Doesn't mean this is actually would have happened. This is just a theory. This whole video is a theory, so you guys know. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.